Hue yesterday said, it's too early to know, where we're going with the number 1 overall pick. Is trading down something that could be a factor?
I think all that's still too early. I mean, everything's, for right now, is going to be negotiable and talked about until we sit down and talk about where we are, what we're trying to do, and what we know. I think we haven't had those discussions. I think right now we're just in the beginning phases of all of it. We got a long way to go before we get to that decision.
How important or instrumental will Greg Williams be in helping you, figure out the defensive side of the ball? Miles Garrett's and Jonathan Allen's.
Oh, he'll be huge. I mean, that's our coaches. They're important. Because again, we're going to coach the team, and we have a voice. Just like our executives have a voice. It's a collaborative deal. We all work together. I think you've heard so many reports about just listening to Atlanta, how they've gone through their process. They really work together. Sameness in thought. We're trying to do the same. We're no different than anybody else. We're trying to get the players that's best for the Cleveland Browns. Everybody might not be the best for the Cleveland Browns, and we got to find our guys and what we think will help us turn this organization around.
Hey, Hugh,
Last one.
Philosophically speaking, when you think of the number 1 overall pick, do you think it should be the best player or the most valuable player? And my thought behind the question is, a good quarterback in the NFL is more valuable than an elite non-quarterback, defensive player, whatever. So how do you weigh that with the number 1 overall
I think you go through the process. I think, and I know everybody don't like me using that term. I do. I think you have to go through it and weigh, like you just said, what's best. Who is the best player? We haven't determined that. I mean, is the best player a defensive end? Is it a quarterback? Is it a defensive back? I don't know yet, until you can evaluate them all and line them all up and see where they are and see what's best. We all know a quarterback is very important to our football team, but is he the best player? Got to find that out, and we need to put one on our team. We're going to find one. I promise you guys that. We're going to do that. I think that's imperative. I think we all know that, and that's what we're going to accomplish.
But you do agree there's a debate between best player and most valuable player because of the importance of position.
No doubt. And especially in this situation, it is. No question.